going on with it. Oh, it's just my glasses. I was like, bro, are you turning the exposure up and down? Anyway, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I think this is the earliest we've gotten out of the house. Why is my car bugging? Hold on. Oh, it wasn't on. But, dude, that's bad. This is the earliest we've gotten out of the house in probably a week. You've been going to class. But besides that, all my classes are online. So I've just been locked up in the apartment the last couple days. And we've been working out at night, pretty late at night. Well, not late, but late enough to where, okay, I'm tripping, bro.
Come on.
I don't want them on, it's bright out. Anyway, so early starts of the day. Avery's gonna be doing cardio. I've got shoulders because we're gonna do back together tomorrow. So I'll do shoulders today. On Wednesday or Thursday. Wait, is tomorrow Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh crap. I told Alex I would train arms with him. Maybe I can push that to Friday. Anyway, today we're doing shoulders. Forget what I was gonna say. Oh, okay, yeah. With like going to the gym every day, right? It sucks because I feel like a lot of people you see online and us and people who go to the gym consistently, we make it look easy. We make it look like, you know, it's just another thing that we're doing in our day. Like it comes so easy to us. Yet, you know, for some of you guys, you might experience that it's like so hard to get yourself to go to the gym. It's so hard to, you know, kind of get in the groove of it and not have it just be like a thing that you do sporadically or like a phase where you work out for 2 months and then you're done, or a phase where you eat healthy for 2 months and you're done. The people that have been able to make it, you know, a part of their lives are the people who almost kind of turn it into like a hobby of some kind. You know, it's like anything else. A good example of this is like archery. You know, if someone really loves, you know, shooting, they're going to do it every single day. So thankfully, you know, myself and my fiance and people who go every single day, or these people you see at the gym every day, we've been able to not only, you know, get into working out, but we've also turned it into somewhat of a hobby, something that we use as a way to kind of take our minds off of like life, I guess you can say. Because the reason we like hobbies, right, the reason you might like skiing or, like I said, archery or anything like that is in the moment, that's all that matters, right? And that's kind of the same way for the gym is it's been almost turned into a form of like meditation. It's a form of, you know, taking your mind off of some of the craziness of life. And the guys that are able to do that see the best results. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone, right? You know, you want a better physique and you want to, you know, meet those goals that you have, but at the same time, you also want to turn it into a habit. And sometimes, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like for some people that might be hard to kind of fall in love with the gym. So it's probably going to take some experimenting with, you know, what kind of working out you like or what kind of like physical activity that you like. You know, for you, it might be more of a CrossFit style of workouts instead of like a bodybuilding hypertrophy style. Or maybe for you like are really cardio oriented. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like having that form of exercise that not only helps you become healthier, helps you achieve those goals that you have, but also helps you, or like is a hobby that you enjoy. So don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting to do something that's not just the bodybuilding specific sort of like lifting. You know, there's probably something else that you can find and find through experimenting with different things that, you know, does both of those things. Helps you get healthier, helps you achieve those goals, but also, you know, helps you like take your mind off of life. So today's advice, try to find whatever it is exercise-wise that you can incorporate into your schedule, obviously, but also make it into a hobby, make it fun. I always tell a lot of guys, especially my clients, is the easiest way to make cardio like easy to fit in is when you turn it not into cardio, but instead you turn it into a form of meditation, a time where you can get work done on your phone, get emails done, play on your phone, whatever the case may be. You kind of have to turn it into something else, or kill two birds at one stone, or with one stone, while doing that activity. So working out in and of itself is hard, but you can turn it into something else as well. That might not make a lot of sense to you guys, but we're gonna go kill this 12:38 p.m. shoulder day and try not to hit this Amazon driver. But let's go ahead and get into the gym. We're gonna start with side raises. Actually, we'll probably warm up a little with some bands and stuff. We're gonna start with side raises. We're gonna move on to shoulder press, probably more side raises. We're gonna do some kind of rear delts as well. Might even do those at the beginning. I like to do those at the beginning because rear delts are kind of lacking. So if I can kind of get those out of the way, use a lot of my energy on those, I might do that. So that's what we'll do actually. We'll do rear delts at the beginning, side raises, shoulder press, side raise, boom, in and out, hopefully within an hour or two. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoy the video. All right, don't worry, I'm not doing cardio. Not right now, at least. I don't know how to move this chair up. So not doing cardio, but I figured I would kind of give you a rundown on what we're gonna do because we did kind of switch up there in the car. So gonna start with rear delts, except, you know, I could just do straight rear delt flies the whole time, but I love to get some kind of, dude, this thing sucks. I'd love to get some kind of face pull of some kind or a really high row of some kind. So we'll go ahead and do the really strict flat T-bar rows. Some of you guys may have that at your gym. I know it's kind of a new machine that's kind of rolling out, or new set of equipment. It's like basically just a bench and you lay down on it. And it's cool because you can go super heavy and do like really good upper back movements, or if you really want to isolate the rear delts, you can too. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Go pretty light, isolate those rear delts. I don't want to go too insane because we do have back tomorrow, at least coming up soon. So I don't want to like go too heavy and incorporate too much back and then be sore. So really want to go light, really target just the shoulders, those rear delts. And then after that, probably just spam out some dumbbell rear delt flies, some dumbbell or just machine reverse flies, maybe. And then after that, we'll move on to side rest or side raise, shoulder press, more side raise. So let's go ahead and get in there. I shouldn't have even done this. Thing's really sticky. Let's go. All right, so when you're doing those high rows or even a face pull, you kind of have to play it smart because once you get further enough into the set, your rear delts might be giving out, but your back will start to take over. So it's almost like you can't really take it to, how do I say this? Like when you're doing bicep curls, you know when your biceps are done, right? Your biceps are fatigued, they give out, you can't get another curl. With that, it's like, you know, your rear delts are fatigued, they might be giving out, but then your back kind of takes over, your traps take over. So you kind of have to know, okay, like my rear delts are done, let's rack it, let's take a break, and then let's kill them again on the next set. So you kind of have to be mindful of what you're doing. So now we're gonna move on to rear delt flies with the dumbbell. With these, I'm thinking about driving more up like this, up and out. I actually talked to a guy the other day in here, and I'm always trying to like talk to guys and learn from them if they have a bigger muscle group than I have, or if they have an aesthetic that I want. I'll ask them what they do. And this guy was telling me about his rear delt routine, which he does those really strict rows, and then he also does these dumbbell reverse flies, which I tend to stay away from, but I should probably start doing. But he was saying with these, instead of going here, instead coming up here and kind of turning those wrists out, which should isolate those rear delts more. And if you watch my videos, rear delts are one of the areas I really struggle with. So I'm always trying new stuff, trying to see how I can learn and do something new. So I'm gonna try as many sets as I can on here, probably around 6 sets on these, and then we'll move on to crossbody cable crossovers, and then on the side raises. Okay, so I was actually thinking about it. I might just emphasize more rear delt today instead of doing rear delt, side delt, and shoulder press. So I might just do a little more rear delts today and do some side delts. So basically 16 sets of rear delts, 16 sets of side raises. The side raises will mix in different variations as well. And really, with rear delts, it's more of a strategic switch up, just to kind of change up the tension. But when I'm switching around what side delt movement I'm doing, it's more just for fun. It's more to kind of just break up the monotony of, just doing dumbbell side raises. So that's kind of why I move around on different variations of side raises. And even sometimes I'll just stick with, just straight dumbbells. But for these, at least with rear delts, it's more of a strategic movement, meaning like I'm doing this either because the last movement I don't feel anymore, or just because it's a different sort of tension. So that's kind of that. In regards to shoulder press, I don't think you actually need them, but they are fun to throw in, in between your side raises or in between other different kinds of sets. That's kind of why I do side raises, because like I said, or that's why I do shoulder press, because like I said, side raises can get kind of boring sometimes, at least when you're doing as many sets as I am. So throwing in a set of shoulder press keeps the blood flowing, but also helps give you a little bit of a break. And I don't think they're hurting anyone at all, but I don't necessarily think they're the most needed when it comes to the composition of that shoulder. I think if I really think about it, I should probably be doing more rear delts more often. Like I say all the time, always throw in side delts, always throw in chest movements, even like every other day if you can, if you're not sore, just because those muscle groups are so important for that aesthetic look. But I also think the rear delt, honestly, when we're talking about shoulder, you know, having that crazy rear delt tie-in into your traps, into your shoulder, really completes that look. So maybe I should also start myself doing those and also emphasizing that to you guys. Like having those crazy rear delts is pretty integral. So I might start, you know, if I'm gonna do side raises, I might start, you know, doing some rear delt flies or some kind of rear delt, because I think where I'm struggling is not that my rear delts aren't growing, it's just because my side raise, you know, proportion is so much more. I'm doing so many more reps of side raises. So as my rear delts grow, my side raises or my side delts are growing. So the proportion doesn't change, the shoulder size changes, but the proportion doesn't. So I need to hold myself accountable and say, okay, if I'm gonna squeeze in a couple sets of side raises at the end of a workout, I'm gonna squeeze in a couple sets of rear delts as well. Or maybe if I'm doing 3 sets of side delts, I'll do 6 sets of rear delts to kind of make up for that inconsistency. I don't know. Side raise now. Gonna start with 20. We'll start with 20s. So start with 20s, and then basically what we'll do here is do that for as many reps as we can each time. And with these, you know, it's kind of like those rear delts, right? You got to be real careful with the form and also with the failure, or at least the perception of failure, because even though my rear delts might be failing, I could be using a lot of trap, I could be getting a lot of momentum. So I like to kind of cut it off early, because I used to just go insane. Not saying I'm not going to still go hard, but I used to go insane to the point where, you know, I would get 3 or 4 sets in, and my traps are too dead to even move on and do more sets. So really be strategic with how many I'm doing, and trying to figure out Okay, and are my rear delts done? Okay, my rear delts are done. Let's rest and then let's recover and get right back into it. So that's what we're gonna do here. Do the 20s for, I'm thinking probably 4 or 5 sets, and then we'll start incorporating drop sets in. So within these 8 sets, we'll do like probably these first couple sets with just 20s, and then the last couple sets we'll incorporate in 15 pounds or 10 pounds as like a low drop set to finish them on. You know, when you do start to feel fatigued with the movement, so like I started feeling pretty fatigued here, doesn't mean you have to necessarily be done. I just changed it up, so I went, okay, in front of me now, once I get fatigued out there, then drop it down to the side, and then, okay, now I'm starting to feel my traps. Let's go ahead and be done. All right, you know what time it is? It's time to pose on down. You know, side raises are easy, but for me, like I said at the beginning of the workout, you know, I've been trying to figure out that route out, figure out what was working for me or what is gonna work for me. And we all have that one muscle group, right, that like is just stubborn, and you really have to figure out, okay, like you have to experiment with a lot of things. So don't be, you know, don't get down on yourself if you can't figure that thing out. Like I've been doing it for 8 years in natural lifting, and I haven't been able to figure out exactly what works. Now, I did just do some dumbbell, sort of like a sideways, except I would keep the weight out in front of me. So I was just going here and keeping the weight in front of me, and that felt really good. I don't know why, I think because of the stretch here maybe, and then the hard squeeze up and back like that. But it felt pretty good, so I might throw those in actually. But let's go ahead and get these stinky sleeves off and then get that shirt off. Ooh. Now, I haven't been doing cardio. I've gotten pretty bad about fitting it in at the end of my workout, but because I am bulking, I'm okay with that because I can just eat a little less calories. And you might be wondering why I'm doing cardio on my bulk, but it's mainly just because it helps me eat a little more. If I do 15 to 20 minutes after my workout, helps me eat a little more, helps me break a little sweat, so just feels good. Might be bro science, might not be logical, but it's kind of what I do. So I do like typically getting a chest pump with a shoulder pump, just because it looks so gnarly, but you know, this shoulder's pretty round, pretty full. Even that rear delt there's kind of humped up. And that's really what you want that rear delt for, right? You know, because you get that capped look from those side delts and the front delts, but really it's that rear delt that kind of pulls everything forward, pulls everything together, even from the side. You know, when you have that gnarly rear delt sticking out there in the back, which ties in obviously to the traps there. Okay, so shoulders is done. You can't see me at all.
Sleeves.
Yeah, those sleeves stink. There we go. Oh, my glasses. Anyway, the issue I face, and some of you guys may relate to this, but my ADHD, what is it? ADD maybe? I don't know the specific term for it. My ADD brain is all over the place with everything, with content, with workouts. Everything I do is all over the place. I think I figure something out and then I actually switch it up. I move on to something else. You know, I get confident with something else and I switch it up. I'm all over the place. So kind of my forewarning to, if you're new to the channel, just bear with me. You know, I'm trying to figure things out myself and I'm sporadic. But I think that's why I try to emphasize, going to absolute failure on whatever you're doing, because it makes up for a lot of those gray areas. It makes up for a lot of those things that you really don't know. And I think that's honestly why I like the gym so much, because you can kind of overwhelm your mistakes with effort and kind of make up for that, so that you really don't get that in a lot of other areas of your life. So maybe that's just why I might have just figured out why I like the gym so much. Anyway, just push yourself and it's going to make up for a lot of those mistakes. If you're like me, you'll have a game plan, but then you don't really stick to the game plan, or you second guess, or you change what you're doing. So just overwhelm it with aggression and just pushing yourself, going hard in the gym. It's super fun anyway, especially if you have a gym partner or you have someone like a girlfriend or fiance that can help be there with you and push you on certain days. And you know, like I was saying earlier, it's even better when you turn it into a hobby, when you turn it into some kind of meditation. You don't feel right when you don't go to the gym. You know, for some people that's, I don't know, some people like it, that's math for them, or that's, you know, a subject in school that they really enjoy. When they're doing it, they're just not even thinking about it. So make the gym that for you. And that comes with just, you know, doing it over and over and over again, like anything else. Like, it takes discipline for the first, you know, weeks to a couple months, but after that, once you grow to like it, it becomes a hobby. It becomes something that you enjoy. So today's message is to, you know, turn it into a hobby and then correct your mistakes with effort. Bada bing, bada boom. I love you guys. Remember to love God, lift weights, and live life. Go follow me on Instagram at Blaine Riley Lifts. Check me out there. Love you guys.
Tell them to comment an emoji if they lasted so long.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. If you made it this far in the video and you're looking at my beautiful Justin Bieber locks, go comment an emoji down below, or comment something that you were able to take away, or maybe something you learned, or maybe something you want to teach me down in the comments.
You're supposed to give them a specific emoji.
Oh, a specific emoji?
Yeah.
Okay, go comment.
Then you can see them.
Go comment a sushi roll down in the comments, so I know who the OGs are. Anyway, I love you guys. See you next time.